Right. So this morning I'm going to be listening to and talking about a solo piano piece by American composer Morton Feldman called Palais de Marie. It's on the more accessible side for Feldman's work because if you don't know, Morton Feldman is famous for extended duration pieces. So he has lots of pieces which are upwards of 2, 3 hours long, single movement pieces. And this is a 20-minute one, I think. Yeah, when I first was recommended to listen to Morton Feldman, my teacher at the time, this was when I was like 18 or 19, he recommended this piece and Rothko Chapel, which is another 20-minute piece by Feldman. Um, and I was at the University of Toronto at the time, and I actually found a book of essays about Morton Feldman's music, which was a really good read. Um, I'll put the title here if I can find it. And I think the most sizable like essay or analytical essay was on a piece called For John Cage by Morton Feldman, which was for violin and piano. Um, so, and I remember that piece reminding me of this piece at the time. So that's sort of the stage for when I was listening to this stuff. This is late Feldman, so 1980s, and it's obviously very quiet and pedaled throughout. It's one of the most distinctive things you'll hear. And then it has a lot of meter changes and like subtly shifting, repeated figures. And it's going to be a bunch of them, different ones that he cycles through. Liberal use of rests. There's a big passage here with whole notes, it looks like. The dedicatee of this piece is Francesco Clement, who is who is an Italian contemporary artist who may have been living in New York at the time Feldman was writing this. He would have been in his 30s when Feldman wrote this. Okay, this one was 87. Funerary painting. Can I get closer? No, there's nothing from 86 here. So sort of surrealist. A lot of watercolor, oil painting, tempera, pastel. So like a multimedia kind of guy. And yeah, there's something definitely expressionistic about it. Okay, any background on this piece? Inspired by a picture of the ancient Babylonian Palace of Mari, which Feldman saw at the Louvre. Oh, and apparently this is his final work for solo piano, so that's interesting. So this is sort of like a important milestone. Composed, oh, commissioned by Bunita Marcus. There's also another piece by Feldman called For Bunita Marcus, which was written around the same time. So this is a pianist, I'm assuming. American composer, associated with Morton Feldman from 1976 until his death in 87. Uh, they composed side by side, sharing musical thoughts and ideas. So this is like a classical case of like a woman composer who, probably had a lot of influence on a more famous male composer, um, and probably more influenced than we will ever know because we can't track that sort of, you know, sharing of information. So Okay, learning lots of new things this morning. I'm going to listen to this recording, as always, is in the video description, and I'll see you in half an hour. Okay, so this is an interesting listen. Like a lot of Feldman's work, it kind of escapes analysis a little bit. I really like the opening idea, which goes on for first three lines. It doesn't come back a lot in the piece, so when it does, I think around 74, it's a big moment. The piece is really kind of dominated by these four note or seven note chords, and often preceded by like a single grace note in one hand or the other, or followed by a grace note, and that's about it. So I guess that would be where you would start if you were trying to analyze this thing. I really like the sections where we had a break from mixed meter stuff and we just had long stretches of 5/8 and then 2/2. Uh, yeah, there's a really big 5/8 one and really big 2/2 one, which is kind of interesting. There's like this stuff, right? It's like we go off on a tangent sometimes for a really long time. Either that or there's like multiple things going on at the same time, and sometimes one of them we get a bigger glimpse of it, and other times it's more like just interspliced and kind of collaged, I guess. Um, yeah, it looks really easy to play, and it's not too challenging in terms of duration, so I think it could fit on a lot of different programs. Um, like if you wanted to program Feldman's work, I think this is a really good contender because it's like, you know, it's short, it's for solo piano, and it's his last piano work, so it's of sort of historical interest. Um, I'm excited to be getting into more Feldman. I'm a little bit too tired today, and a bit shell shocked from stuff in my life, to really appreciate it, but glad I could introduce you to this piece. We have a lot of Feldman piano scores, but mostly concentrated in like the 70s. Um, I think last session I said that Kierkegaard's was the last Lawrence Crane piece. I was mistaken. We still have one more Lawrence Crane piece, and that's his three preludes from 1985. So I think these are technically Crane's first piano pieces. Um, so that's what we'll get into next. And then the day after that, we have another Feldman piece for Brunita Marcus, which we were talking about earlier in this video. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting weekend. We'll see how these longer Feldman pieces actually fit into my schedule. I might have to take days off here and there to like make it work, you know.